The Harrison mansion stood like a monument to everything Maria would never have. 3 stories of pristine white columns, a circular driveway where cars worth more than her lifetime earnings came and went. Rooms so vast her footsteps echoed against marble floors. She'd been cleaning these halls for 2 years, invisible as the air itself, watching Mr. Harrison's world spin on an axis of money and meetings while his son sat alone, surrounded by toys he didn't want and nannies who checked their phones more than they checked on him. Mr. Harrison, James to everyone who mattered, but never to her, had everything except time. His wife had left when Tommy was barely walking, traded their son for a tech, entrepreneur in Silicon Valley, and a lifestyle. That didn't include motherhood. James threw himself into his hedge fund empire, building wealth like other men built sandcastles, temporary monuments to prove something to someone who'd stopped watching. Maria knew about loneliness. She recognized it in Tommy's eyes, the same way she saw it in her own reflection every morning. It started innocently enough. Tommy had wandered into the kitchen one afternoon while she was preparing Mr. Harrison's dinner, something elaborate the cook had left instructions for, something that would probably go half-eaten. The boy stood in the doorway, dragging his stuffed elephant, his eyes puffy from crying. "Estás triste, pequeño?" The words slipped out before Maria could stop them. "Are you sad, little one?" Tommy's head tilted. "What did you say?" Maria's heart seized. She'd broken the first rule, stay invisible. "Stay quiet, stay in Spanish only with the other staff." "I'm sorry, Mr. Tommy, I should not." It sounded pretty. He stepped closer. "Say it again." Something in his face, that desperate curiosity, that hunger for connection, cracked something in Maria's chest. She knelt down to his level. "Estás triste." It means, you are sad. "Estás triste?" He tried, his face scrunching with concentration. "Triste," she corrected gently, and when he got it right, his smile was the sun breaking through clouds. That was 3 months ago. Now, every evening when Mr. Harrison worked late, which was every evening, Maria taught Tommy her language. But Spanish wasn't enough for this brilliant little boy who soaked up words like earth soaked up rain. She taught him Portuguese, the language of her best friend Rosa, who cleaned on Thursdays. Then came French, courtesy of the gardener's wife. Mandarin from the delivery man who brought Mr. Harrison's dry cleaning. Italian from her cousin's video calls. Tommy blossomed. The crying stopped. His eyes lit up when he saw her. He'd run through the house shouting, "Bonjour! Ni hao, buongiorno," like each word was a treasure he'd discovered. Maria knew it was dangerous, this bond. She knew she was overstepping, inserting herself into spaces the hired help shouldn't occupy. But Tommy needed someone, and her own son was 3,000 miles away, and maybe, just maybe, she could give this lonely boy what she couldn't give her own. She never imagined Mr. Harrison would come home early. It was a Tuesday evening. Maria was in Tommy's room, both of them sitting cross-legged on the floor. She was teaching him a lullaby her grandmother had taught her, switching between languages with each verse. Spanish, Portuguese, French, Mandarin, Italian. Tommy giggled as he stumbled over the Mandarin tones, trying again and again until Maria laughed too, her hand covering her mouth. "Mama sings like you," Tommy said suddenly, and Maria's laughter died. "I'm not your mama, pequeño." "I know, but Mama left." "You stayed." His small hand found hers. "You're better." Maria's vision blurred. She was about to respond when she heard it, a sharp intake of breath from the doorway. Mr. Harrison stood frozen, his briefcase still in hand, his face cycling through confusion, shock, and something else Maria couldn't name. How long had he been standing there? What had he heard? "Mr. Harrison, Maria scrambled to her feet, her heart hammering against her ribs. "I can explain." Was that 5 different languages?" His voice was strange, hollow. Tommy jumped up, oblivious to the tension. "Daddy, Maria's teaching me." "I can say I love you in Spanish to Amo. And French, je t'aime, and—" "Go to bed, Tommy." James's words were sharp, final. Tommy's face crumpled. "But Daddy—" "Now." Maria helped Tommy into bed with shaking hands, whispering reassurances she didn't believe. When she turned, James was still in the doorway, his jaw tight. "My office now!" The walk down the hallway felt like walking to her own execution. Maria thought of her son, of the money she sent home each month that kept him in school, kept food on the table. She thought of the years it had taken to get this job, this visa, this chance. James closed the office door behind them. He didn't sit. Neither did she. "How long?" he asked. 3 months, sir. "I'm sorry, I never meant to—" "Why?" The question surprised her. "Sir? Why would you do this? You're a housekeeper. You clean, you cook. You're not paid to—" He stopped, running his hand through his hair. "Why would you waste your time teaching my son 5 languages? Waste her time." The words hit like stones. Maria felt something shift inside her, some careful wall she'd built crumbling. Maybe she was about to be fired anyway. Maybe the truth didn't matter anymore. "Because he was lonely, Mr. Harrison." Her voice came out steadier than she felt. "Because he cried every night. Because he needed someone to see him. Really see him. And everyone in this house looked through him like he was glass." "That's not—" "When was the last time you ate dinner with your son? When did you last ask about his day? He's 4 years old and he goes to bed alone every night in a house full of people who are paid to care for him, but don't actually care." James's face went white, then red. "You have no right." "You're right. I have no right. I'm just the maid." Maria's voice cracked. "But I have a son, too. Mr. Harrison. He's 5 years old and he lives in Guatemala with my mother because I'm here, cleaning your floors and raising your child so I can send money home to raise mine. So maybe I have no right, but I understand what it means to be lonely. I understand what it means to need someone who actually shows up." Silence filled the room like floodwater. James stared at her, his mouth opening and closing, no sound coming out. Maria wiped her eyes. "I'll pack my things." "No." She looked up. James sat down heavily in his chair, his head in his hands. When he looked up, his eyes were red. "No, don't pack your things." "I'm the one who should be packing." He laughed, but it sounded broken. "I'm the one who should leave. Some father I am, having the maid teach my son to speak because I'm too busy making money. He doesn't need to have conversations." "I'm too afraid to start. Mr. Harrison." "James, please, I think you've earned the right to call me James." He stood up, walked to the window overlooking the garden where Tommy played. Used to play, before he got too lonely to play alone. After Elizabeth left, I thought if I could just build enough, earn enough, prove enough, maybe she'd see what she gave up. Maybe Tommy would understand why I was gone all the time. Maybe I'd understand it myself. He turned back to Maria. "But you're right. He's 4, and he's learning 5 languages from the housekeeper, because his father doesn't have time to teach him anything at all." Maria watched this powerful man crumble, watched him become human, became father, become afraid. "It's not too late," she said softly. "He still waits for you every night. He sets a place for you at his pretend tea parties. He tells me stories about when Daddy comes home, like it's a holiday he's waiting for." James's breath hitched. "Show me." "Sir? Show me what you've been teaching him. Please, I want to learn too. I want to—" His voice broke. "I want to know my son." So Maria taught them both. Every evening, James came home at 6 instead of 10. They sat together, billionaire, housekeeper, and lonely little boy, and learned languages, learned songs, learned each other. James started reading Tommy bedtime stories in Spanish. Tommy taught his father how to count in Mandarin. Maria taught them both what it meant to be a family, not by blood, but by choice. 6 months later, Maria got a call from Guatemala. Her son was sick, nothing serious, but he needed her. She'd prepared her resignation letter, had it ready in her pocket. James found her crying in the kitchen. She handed him the letter. He read it, then tore it in half. "You're going to Guatemala," he said. "All of you?" "Tommy and I are coming too. It's time we met the boy who shares his mother with my son. And when we come back, you're not coming back as a housekeeper." He smiled. "Tommy needs a nanny who speaks 5 languages. And I need someone to keep teaching me what actually matters." Maria flies home that weekend with 2 tickets, one for her, one for her son to come back with her. James and Tommy followed 2 days later. In a small village in Guatemala, a billionaire sits at a humble table and learns that richness has nothing to do with money. 2 little boys become brothers in 5 languages and 1 universal tongue, laughter. A mother who'd split herself in half becomes whole, and in a mansion that had been a mausoleum, Life finally comes home to stay.